This is a brand new. I mean, porn wasn't even legal in the United States for most of its.
But everybody was watching it.
Have you ever watched porn?
You couldn't
Yes,
watch it because it
Have you
wasn't
watched
even
porn?
legal. Okay,
Have
it
you ever
wasn't
watched
even legal.
porn? Have you ever watched porn? Honestly,
Of course.
truthfully. Okay.
Of course.
Do you think that woman is disgusting and like the actors in the video? You're like, wow, this man is like, because there's such a double standard in society where it's like we put this man on a pedestal, like, wow, I wish I could be him, like versus the woman. But you think equally both of them are just as degenerate in that video when you watch it?
Yeah.
So why do you watch it?
Yeah, you're
Well,
sinning.
I mean, once upon a time, I myself engaged in plenty of degeneracy,
Okay.
and still in
So
some.
at least you could
in
be
some
honest,
regard,
at
hang
least
on,
you could say-
stop. Let me answer the question. Right? I'm not above myself being a person who has been prone to sin. The point of Christianity is not perfection, not to say that you're a perfect person. It's to always be moving towards theosis, being better. Not for you to say that there's an identification distinction. There's no identification distinction between us because you say you have watched porn. Yes, that's true, but you are a porn star who advocates for it right this second. So your argument is so absurd. It's like saying a person who was a cocaine addict can't tell people it's bad to do cocaine. Do you understand how absurd that is?
I think it's a little different because porn's not killing people.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't stop their
and
fucking hearts.
Where on earth did you ever get the idea that it wasn't? Of course it does.
How is porn killing people?
It leads to heavier amounts
Because they're
of
having
human
sex?
trafficking.
No, it's 'cause
just
society
on its
tells
Or because
face.
they're
Human
masturbating so
trafficking
hard that
alone.
their heart stops?
Human trafficking. Do you think human trafficking leads to a better or worse life?
That's not the same thing.
Do you feel like a
Yes,
drug
but
dealer?
Pornography, the pornography industry banks on human trafficking in a big way,
Yeah.
and always has. Both sides of the border, in fact, is a massive problem.
You think
I don't know where you
OnlyFans
got the
does that?
idea that pornography doesn't lead to higher rates of drug abuse and mental illness, because it does. Does mental illness lead as a contributing factor to people offing themselves? Because I think it does.
I think-
all of these things are contributing factors to higher rates of
I think men are the
activity,
reasons
which
that
will
we want to
lead
off ourselves.
to early demise.
To be honest.
I have a real quick point. I feel like there is a lot of like people that like go through depression, and you're saying all these things about porn stars like falling into this like, you know, bad headspace. I feel like a lot of it has to do with how the public is making them feel about it. What you guys
stigma.
are saying about these porn stars and what they're doing, and they're just but it's crazy because you guys are watching it and you're pleasuring yourselves to what these porn
And then
stars
you
are doing.
subscribe.
So I feel like if it was
Well,
just
that would actually
talked
be a
about,
better case for me than for you. So you're saying it's the stigma which causes this, and yet you yourself may engage in this activity that you think is bad for society, which I would say in turn means we need more stigma.
I don't
not
think it's
less
bad for
stigma.
society. I think that people learn through it. I think sex
We
is
need
healthy.
less prudes.
I think most of the time some people masturbate and their stress comes like from
What do
their
they
body.
learn from it? How to eat shit?
That what?
To release
No,
endorphins.
there's a
from it.
lot
What
of
are they
benefits.
learning from it?
There's a
Maybe
lot
that's
of
your fetish. I
There's
don't
a
know.
lot of benefits to porn, you know, and I feel like the bad stuff that they say that comes from porn is because the world is so like to the cameras and to everyone. They're like, but porn is bad, but they all wish they could do it, but they just know that people are just talking
So
about
is
it.
violence.
You
know,
realize that
so
we
is-
Am I
right
putting a
this
gun to anyone's
second-
head? No, I'm
Hang on.
relieving someone's stress. Sometimes, like porn is healthy for like marriage and relationships and stuff like that. It keeps somebody from cheating.
Yes,
they just go to the
yes,
bathroom.
listen, it's
She's a
possible
slut and she
that-
knows it.
My whole thing is I
it's
don't
possible
feel.
you can move towards outliers and say that there are some people whose relationships have been vastly improved by pornography, and I'm not even disputing that. I'm sure that there's truth to that somewhere, okay? But we can look at our society pre-pornography, right? Like, this is not a thing which we have a massive history of. This is a new phenomenon in the West of having unfettered access to pornography, and overwhelming. Every single societal and sociological study overwhelmingly shows that not only is it bad for the women who are engaged in it, but it's really bad for the men who become addicted to it. It rewires their brain, quite literally.
But
Of
like
course
anything, it's
terrible
like
for
when you're addicted
society.
to cigarettes, or when you're addicted to vaping, or when you're addicted to just doing anything. Like PlayStation. Everyone has a different fix. It's life. It's, you know.
Yeah, it's true, but
Yeah,
don't
how do you
you
feel
think
about
that we can
gamers?
make distinctions in society between people who might habitually
I think it's
eat
beautiful.
one
It's like
too
we're
many-
reproducing, though. That's
Hang
what
on.
we're supposed to be
We're
doing.
not. That's the big problem. We're not. In fact, our birth rates are under replacement rate, way below replacement rate. And the reason that they're under replacement rate is because women will say, well, I love tradition, but I'm going to wait until all my fertile years are behind me, and then I'll get married when they're in their 30s. And that's why the average rate of a woman getting married in the United States is 30 years old.
I think that it has nothing to do with the women. I think although women say that we want to get married when we're in our 30s, we do want to find our Prince Charming to sweep us off our feet. But because these days and how men are perceiving women and how they want to live their life first, it's actually causing this to happen. So women are just saying, "I'm going to live my life."
that's
But
my point.
ideally,
That's
when
my
a
whole
woman
point.
is
My
a
whole
child,
point.
we are hoping to
Yeah, you're
find
just
our
making my
Prince Charming
point.
from a child. So I think that if we just found our Prince Charming at 19, 20, we would be married then. So this is something that we're just saying. Because
Oh,
in the
I
end of the
see.
day,
So if
I
you
feel
don't
like
find your Prince Charming at 19, do you think that going into an OnlyFans career for money is going to make you more likely to find that Prince Charming or less likely?
I don't think that
give a
anybody's
shit.
thinking that. I think that they're thinking about survival, and I think they're putting their family first. I mean, I know for my decision was I
No,
wanted
you're
to
not
put.
thinking about survival. That's ridiculous.
For some, it could be
Survival's not
different for everyone.
$50,000 a month. That's ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Most people would be more than pleased to have a $30 an hour job, and they would be surviving just fine.
Correct, but
Whenever
some
I hear
people-
this,
some peop-
I do this for survival. I always know the second a woman says, I do this for survival, and then we ask what her paycheck is. What do you think most people survive on?
Everything is for different people. Everyone has different reasons why they joined. Maybe they got out of a. I can't speak for why she joined OnlyFans. I can't speak for. No, I know why. I might
You
have.
all joined it for the same reason, because you wanted the money.
Okay, and that is fine. But maybe some didn't have the parents to tell them, "Hey, this is what
what
college is."
What do you mean? You don't
May-
know the reasons then? You all know the reasons. You did
and
it because it makes you a
all
lot
I'm
of
saying
money.
is there's
That's why
no
you do it.
That's why I did
there's everyone has different reasons that why they joined.
No,
And
they don't.
I
They
think
all
as
have
long
the same reason. They all do it for money. All
Okay,
of
and
them
in
do
the
it for money.
which money causes financial freedom. I will say my financial freedom has led to my family in Cuba having ACs. Like we all have houses. Like I've done good things with my money. I don't think that the girls that are doing
Yeah,
bad
all
things.
you had to do in order to get that was prostitute yourself. Do you think that was a good exchange? Does your dad say, thanks
Well,
for the
that's-
AC? I'm glad that you
But-
prostituted yourself for my AC. Honestly, does your dad say, thank you for prostituting yourself so I have air conditioning?
Well, that's not spoken about. But you because
It's
porn
not- I'm
is so
sure it's
talked
not.
down
I'm
on.
sure it's
Like,
not
hold
spoken
on.
about.
It's not prostitution. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys
how
at
is
the end
it
of the
not
day,
prostitution?
It's not.
It's in the end of the day,
Very
I know
different.
everyone
It's very
is saying
safe.
whatever
It's not
about porn,
prostitution.
but I know that it arouses you, even though you don't say it. I know,
Oh, Lord.
I know you have seen it at one point in your life. So my whole thing is like, I feel like we should really
Yeah,
stop
it's a
just
good thing
trying
I'm
to
not the
put
sum
these
total
OnlyFans
of
and porn
my-
stars down because that is why.
So here's the thing. It's a good thing I'm not the sum total of just my biology, and I have higher reason. And that, though I can agree that pornography could arouse me, there's no doubt that that's true. I also had this great thing called the choice to not view it, even knowing that it's true. So whether it arouses me or not is beside the point. I don't think that if put to the question, if I asked your old man, hey, all she had to do was prostitute herself for your AC, that he would say, good on her. Do you honestly think he'd say that?
Who is it harming?
Would he say that?
My dad doesn't give a fuck, but he also loves me. He just wishes that I chose
It's
something else to do,
unconditional
but
love.
I'm
Whether
paying
your
my
child
bills.
is a killer or that you're gonna love them no matter what. You understand?
Love
That's their
is not
decision.
the issue. Love. I'm not talking about love or whether or not your father loves you. I'm sure he loves you very much. You're his daughter.
Right.
I'm not saying anything about whether or not he loves you or cares
But
about
if that
you.
was
I'm
the only
asking,
alternative
if put
that's
to the
a
choice-
woman had,
if
I'm
put
not
to the
saying that
choice
that
of
was-
She makes a lot of money, can buy you AC if she prostitutes herself. Would he be behind that?
I'm not saying that that's what was my decision or anyone, but everyone had different reasons. Maybe that they were doing something. I've heard of different. Okay, you don't know as many like porn stars and creators as I do. I've heard and I've listened to people behind closed doors of why they joined. And you know, some of these people are the nicest people that I've met. I will say, like, I just think
Do you
that
know any of them who have motivation other than money for why they join?
money is the reason this
Dark
world is
Omen
moving.
42 donates
Money is the reason why there's being
money.
Men aren't
It's
interested
always
in
just-
dating women who act like men.
What?
Men go overseas because Western women are toxic and act like the men they want to be with. We want femininity and you're aren't.
Perfect. Except be a masculine man, provide for the woman, then take her away. Like that's just simple. It's not so complicated. It's like, in the end, all I'm saying is that I feel like, you know, these podcasts are always trying to say like that we're not going to find a high value man. The same thing we're just repeating, and I feel like it's bringing down these OnlyFans and porn stars, and it's making them more depressed because it's just putting things in other men's head, like, oh, that's not a good woman.
Then don't
Honestly,
subscribe.
some of my porn star friends are just they care more for me than just like my non-porn star friends. Like I think that there's some of the nicest open-minded individuals, you know, so I just feel like we should stop bashing people.
But don't you understand that reconciling this, when people hear this, right, when they're trying to reconcile it in their brain,
right,
they're hearing this: I do this because I'm a strong, empowered woman and it makes me a lot of money. And then when pressed on it, the second they're pressed on it, it's because I have a poor family in Cuba. It's like, no.
Oh no, but aside of that, what if they found a passion in it?
Let me finish. I'm almost done. You're not doing it because of the poor family in Cuba. A side effect of you doing it may be that you can buy AC for a poor family in Cuba, but your motivation is purely self-interest. Let's not kid ourselves. It's purely self-interest, or you wouldn't do it, right?
My last comment is, what if I found passion in it? What if I have tried different jobs? I could tell you like 4 or 5 different jobs that you'd be like, oh wow, I used to code.
Which is why
I used to code. I used to code. I was a life insurance and health insurance agent.
For any reason other than money, and the answer was no.
And that's fine. But for some reason, right now I can retire if I wanted to. But I will say I will find. I will kind of find like something's missing. Like I find the thrill of like creating content, like, because in the end of the day, it's not just like, oh, we're getting on set and we're doing like an OnlyFans video. No, it requires marketing. It requires creativity. There's a lot to it, you know, because if it was that easy.
Would you do it for free?
That what?
Would you do it for free?
I used to
do it for free.
Just influencing on Instagram.
Will we do
just
anything
like
for free? We have 24 hours in a day.
Not even making money, just building
my following. Would you do this
Big
type of
Sass
work?
Energy donated $100. Imagine eating dingleberries on video and thinking you have a standing to provide a substantive argument on morality.
You said that you have a passion for what you do. Does that include the ass eating?
Well, that's like just like
because you said you have a passion for it, right? Like, what if you have a passion?
Well,
for, like, is
no,
that
I have right. No, I have a passion for just like I enjoy
just say it.
the
you have
creativity.
A passion for ass eating. Just say it. It's cool.
Well, yeah, that's outside of the job. I do that in my personal life.
Okay.
I love that. I have always found myself like a more sexual person. I
am proud.
I do feel like this job has made me more open to like hooking up with girls. Prior to OnlyFans, I was too shy to tell a girl, hey, I want to eat your pussy.
Right?
Sorry for the vulgar language.
Actually.
But now I feel like I've had a lot of sexual experiences. I'm happy. I'm making a lot of money from it. Not saying that that's the only thing. I feel like OnlyFans videos is 5% of what we do, and 95% comes down to marketing and showing up and thinking and brain blasting. There's just so much more to it.
Because that leads to more money. That's why you market it and do all that. Would you do it for free?
Would you do this podcast for free?
I'm doing it right now for free.
But like you're getting something out of it, clearly. Like you